Hey, you, Slothy.
What?
Hey, have you ever heard of Gregory?
No.
Do you know what an ARG is?
No.
Ooh, you're in for a treat. Guess I'm gonna try Twitter again. I'm shrugging with the. Oh yeah.
Shrug. I just did the shrug too. Why does watching a movie at home feel like a huge commitment? But I can easily watch 17 episodes of Extreme Child Baker Showdown without batting an eye.
Hold on. I don't want to know what this video, what that show's about. But, tonight I tried to pay my bar tab with my Movie Pass card. In case you're wondering how my night is going.
My night it going.
Sorry, my night it going. Yeah.
The worst part about smelling eggs on the morning train is that you don't know if someone is eating a breakfast sandwich or someone ate a breakfast sandwich an hour ago.
Ooh, ew. Maybe this is the year I finally watched Lost.
This cocktail came in 2 separate glasses and I'm very confused, but it tastes good, so I'm not complaining.
Yo, that's cool though. Did you open up the picture?
No, I did not. Oh, wow. That is really cool.
Look at that. They even got little flowers with it too.
Oh, they got baby's breath. Beautiful.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's baby's breath.
What, the flowers?
Yep.
Or the drink?
The flowers.
I gotcha. That's cool. The top comment on my side is, "Don't die, dog. Smoke some gas. You'll get better." What? That makes no sense.
Smoke some gas. You'll get better. Jesus.
The fuck is that? Oh, eggs with bacon or eggs cooking. We're cooking.
Egg on your face.
That's yummy. I would love some of that. Just found out my grandpa died.
Made a new friend.
Oh, we'll call this one Sluggy. We got Slothy and Sluggy in here. Something weird is happening in the woods outside my house, and I don't know what to do.
At any rate, I think I'm alone up here. Or at least I was. I figured I'd be up here for a couple weeks to get this all handled, and then I'd go home and be done with it. I'm on a break from grad school, so I don't have any other responsibilities at the moment.
But now, weird things are starting to happen. It started on my 3rd day here. There's a little town about 25 minutes away, and I'd gone to get some food and supplies since I didn't know how long I'm staying. When I got back that evening, there was something strange at my door.
It was this artifact. I don't know what to call it. It was obviously handmade. It was made of sticks and twine and had some small bones tied into the middle of it.
It's kind of really creepy. How would you feel if one of those things were at your door?
Who do you do? Do what? Remind me of the babe.
I didn't think too much of it at the time. I figured it was probably a kid from one of the other houses trying to mess with me, so I took it off the door and tossed it in the fireplace. And that's where he done fucked up.
Little did he know, he fucked up. By the next morning, I'd pretty much forgotten about it, and honestly, I had too much on my plate at the moment to worry about some kid's prank. So I got up that morning, made some breakfast, and went out on the deck with some coffee.
I was sitting there drinking my coffee when I noticed something hanging in a tree just over the railing. It was another one of those artifacts. Dun dun dun.
It was just like the last one, but it had a rock tied to it instead of a bone.
And then almost immediately I saw another one in a tree further down by the ground. I went down the deck steps to retrieve it, and then I started seeing even more of them. I found about 8 in total, hanging in trees all around the house.
They all had different objects tied to them. Bone, feathers, that sort of thing. It was definitely weird, but I was more annoyed than anything. Thinking that someone was in my yard decorating the trees with these ugly goth Christmas ornaments.
Alright, where are we?
You're also if someone was trying to scare me.
Excuse me, that's my line, sir.
I tried to help you.
God, I don't need your help.
Fine, fuck you.
Oh, whoa! We don't need that kind of severity. That kind of animosity.
I tooted.
Gosh, have some professionality.
Professionalism? Nah.
Also, if anyone was trying to scare me, it was going to take more than some bullshit arts and crafts project to do the trick. I gathered all the artifacts together and burned them like the first one.
Kento cussed, guys. You heard it here.
Shit.
After I disposed of all the stick things, I took a shower, got dressed, and went back outside to do some basic tidying and whatnot. The deck and the yard are sort of overgrown, and leaves are starting to fall and cover everything. Being a new homeowner is a lot of work, turns out.
That was when I found something that actually did make me nervous. I was raking a corner of the yard when I saw something dark on the ground off in the trees. I couldn't tell what it was from afar, so I went to investigate.
At first, I thought it was a blanket, but when I got closer, it looked like a big sweatshirt or a hoodie or something. I didn't want to touch it, but it was obviously clothing of some kind.
I looked around and realized there was a whole encampment. There were a couple old socks, a pair of what I think was underwear, gross, a few old napkins scattered around, a plastic spoon, and creepiest of all, a beat-up notebook. We can't forget that I think the plastic spoon's the most scary part about it.
I flipped open the notebook, but nothing was written inside. A whole bunch of pages have been ripped out of it, so I know someone had been using it. Plus, you could sort of see the shadow of pen marks on the most recent page. I couldn't make out what had been written, though.
Anyway, that definitely freaked me out. It was clear someone was camping out on my property and possibly trying to scare me out of the house. I wasn't really sure what to do about it, though. What could I do? I definitely didn't sleep well that night.
That was the day before yesterday. The next morning, I sort of expected more weird artifacts to be outside. But I didn't see anything. And the encampment was gone, so I figured it was probably a homeless person passing through or something.
The driveway ends a ways up from the house, and then you have to trek down a path which bends around the side of the house to get in. I was walking around the house when I saw some movement across the yard near a tree. I froze dead in my tracks.
I thought that was the end of it and turned my attention back to the house. I realized the house had almost no cleaning products and I needed to pick up supplies again. Blah, blah, blah. I drove into town and picked up some Windex, some spare light bulbs, and some other stuff, then came home.
Someone was standing under a tree staring at my house. They didn't see me, though, since I was also partly behind some trees and a good distance away. Whoever it was, they were wearing the same dark hoodie I'd seen in the grass the day before.
Quietly as I could, I set down my shopping bags next to me and slipped my phone out of my pocket. I managed to take a couple photos, but the person turned and disappeared into the woods.
I stood there for a couple minutes, too nervous to move in case the person came back. But they didn't, so I picked up my bags and hurried inside. I picked up the phone to call the cops, but put it back down because I didn't even know what I'd tell them.
Someone was looking at my house. Like any police officer would take me seriously, and like an idiot, I'd destroy all the weird artifacts from before, so there wouldn't even be any evidence. I felt like there was nothing I could do right then.
I was mad at myself and feeling scared all alone in the house, so I locked all the doors and left out the back. I went down to the lake because I didn't know where else to go. I just knew I didn't want to be in the house at that moment.
I walked a ways down the lake shore, then sat for a while looking out at the water. I thought about getting in my car and just going home, but I felt like that would get me in trouble. There's all sorts of property tax stuff I don't understand. I felt trapped.
Also, I couldn't decide if I was actually in any danger. When my grandpa died, it took me a couple months to actually get up to the house. So maybe someone was squatting in the empty house? And now that I'm here, they might just leave on their own accord?
Yeah, right. Fucking squatters. God, it's starting to get dark, so I reluctantly headed back to the house. I walked up the stairs leading to the back of the house, but right before going inside, I got this weird chill. I made up my mind that I absolutely did not want to stay in the house overnight.
I decided to go get my car and drive into town to find a motel for the night. Hotel, motel, holiday inn. Hold on.
You got a friend in me.
I don't know.
And that's when I saw her, the figure from before, standing right in the middle of my front lawn, staring straight at my house. I froze in place, completely in shock. I was practically right next to her, but it was almost as if she didn't see me.
Then it hit me. She couldn't see me because she had no eyes. She had no fucking eyes. Just shiny skin over where her eyes should be. And she had almost no hair at all. I wanted to run, but I felt like if I moved even a little, she'd hear me.
As quietly as I could, I went for my phone. I needed some sort of evidence to show the cops. It all felt like it was happening in slow motion. I feel sick to my stomach as I'm writing this, but I was able to get it on video.
My heart is racing just thinking about this. I
don't want to look at the video.
Since I recorded it. But here it is.
I ran back around the house and got inside. I scrambled upstairs and looked out my bedroom window at the front yard, but she had vanished. Remembering it now, it feels like it didn't really happen. Like it was a nightmare or something.
I called the cops and explained what had happened. I'm sure I sounded crazy, but they said they'd send someone by in the morning and to keep my doors locked. Why not just send somebody right now? I've never understood that.
Right.
So that's where I am now. Alone in the woods. Freaking... You're not in the house? You're in the woods.
No, he locked himself out of the house. I know I won't be able to sleep tonight. I feel lightheaded and nauseous. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm scared shitless.
The past couple of days have been really strange. I also have shitty reception up here, so I'm sorry for not updating. They sent a police officer up yesterday morning, but I feel like it didn't accomplish anything.
Anyway, the cop drove away and I was alone again. All I want to do is leave, but I feel like I can't. I'm so far away from home that I can't even invite a friend up here to keep me company. And even if someone did, it would take them a couple days.
I haven't seen the woman from before, but I feel like she's still out there. And other weird things are happening too. I took a walk around the lake yesterday because I wanted to get a look at the other houses in the area. Maybe see if someone else has noticed anything weird.
But they're all empty. Every house is totally dark, and there are no cars in any of the driveways. I haven't seen a single person at all, except once. Well, sort of. After I came back from my walk, I was out on the deck and saw a boat in the water, way off in the distance.
Ooh. They weren't moving. They stayed there all afternoon. I feel like they were watching me.
They actually stayed out there in the same place until it got too dark to see them anymore. Normally, I'd think they were just fishing if it weren't for what happened the day before, and the fact all of these houses seem empty. Where did they come from?
The boat was gone this morning, so who knows? I microwaved some oatmeal for breakfast and took it down to the dock near the water. It's weird, but I sort of feel safer down there. The water makes me feel less stressed, I guess.
It's like meditative or whatever. Meditative.
Anyway, I was actually starting to feel a little better about everything this morning, if it wasn't for what happened next.
It was in this little inlet by the shore. It was a small and white, and at first I thought it was a brightly colored rock, but I wasn't sure. It seemed too round.
Probably against my better judgment, I took off my shoes and went into the water to retrieve it. Ooh.
It was an eyeball. A fucking eyeball. Hello, Clarice.
Mom! Mom! Bye, Slothy.
What? Hello?
So we're trying to get to the key.